The funding for this video is provided by the amazing members of our Patreon. Also contributions from viewers like you. Thank you. Yeah, I started from PBS Kids. What you gonna do? Fight me? Anyway, roll the video. Natalie said Harriyanna wants more information about me, so I'm gonna give it to her. Alright? Okay, y'all. If you have an issue with the lighting in this video, I'm fucking sorry. Actually, sorry, not sorry. My bulbs have been giving me panic attacks, and I'm not risking having one on camera right here. Let's actually get the Natalie glasses on for today's video. Should we let up a window? Let's see. Okay, we got the Natalie cosplay glasses on. You can actually see me. You see my cute ass wall with the new pictures. Let's begin. Hey y'all, it's Harriyanna and I'm back with another video. Hi, hello, how you guys doing? My name is Harriyanna. Welcome to or welcome back to the pirate ship, also known as Harry Hook's pirate ship. I am the captain. You are not my first mate. I don't got no first mate because you want to know why? Bring your ass closer to the speaker so you can hear me clearly. Nobody's worthy of being the first mate, but hi, hello, how you guys doing? My name is Harriyanna and I like to make content based off nostalgia and family and children's entertainment and all the issues I find within those spaces. I'm gonna try to turn the light back on. If it starts making me feel like I'm about to get a panic attack, I'm turning it off. So if you have an issue with the lighting for this video, just click off. But today we are here for our recap of the most recent episode of Miraculous Season 5. I know a lot of y'all, like, she keep uploading Miraculous videos. Y'all, I got other videos planned, but it's like I'm doing these as they come out because that's what the view's at, alright? But today we are going to be talking about the most recent one that premiered earlier this morning called Passion. And I have so much things to say about this one in particular. Not really more so about the episode, but like so much of the culture when it comes to the animation community and industry and such, and because the show actually is fucking focusing on the things I care about, that being Gabriel and Natalie's fucked up relationship. So let's go ahead and begin. But before we can get into any of the stuff with Gabriel and Natalie, we do have to talk about the other shit that happened. Y'all, I can feel myself starting to panic. I'm turning the light off. So the episode starts off where basically Alya is over Marinette's house as they're having another sleepover, and she's basically telling her, hey, I don't like Adrien no more. I like Cat Noir. And I was just like, is this gonna be an ongoing thing during this show where Alya just takes the time out of her night to come over and care for Marinette? Is this just gonna be a consistent thing with this season? Like, I understand, oh, it's cute, she wants to be there with her friend and whatnot, but a lot of times, like I said, this show does not know how to write Alya outside of the token black kid trope. So that is, like I said, I feel like this is something that's just gonna be rubbing me the wrong way the entire season. So moving on from there, she basically is just telling her, hey, I like Cat Noir, I don't like Adrien no more. But Alya is like, hey, you've gotten this far, why don't you actually give Adrien a chance and talk to him and figure him out and see if you actually do like him, because things are getting better between the two of you as he's showing interest in you. And then she's just like, no, I want to go after Cat Noir. Alright, so fast forward, we go to the Agrest mansion, my favorite location in the show, and here we have is that Adrien gets up. He gets up on his own because usually Natalie comes in and wakes him up. First of all, I'm not trying to be that kind of person or anything like that, but when I was 14, 15 years old, I was waking myself up for school. Okay, I just kind of can't stand how this show babies Adrien so much, because I'm like, he is old enough to be able to set his own alarm clock and get his ass up. So I don't know. Anyway, but basically Adrien gets up and he gets ready to go, and then he goes into the kitchen and he sees Gabriel's ass is up in there like cooking, and he's just like, what are you doing? Like, are you okay? Like, Gabriel's actually being nice to his son for once, and he's just like, are you good? Like, he's like, yeah, I was gonna make you pancakes, this and then the third. So we see Natalie then gets up. First of all, they getting up at the ass crack of dawn at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I can't do that. I have not gotten up at 7 o'clock for anything. Like, since I have like not been working on set as often, I usually have to get up at like 5 or 4 o'clock. If I don't have to get up that early, I'm not fucking doing it. Fuck a 7 a.m. class. No, bye. So basically, all of this, I'm telling y'all, this has to be like one of the most chaotic mornings. You know, like when you go to school and the kids would be fighting and shit, like at 7 o'clock in the morning. That's what this episode was giving. So next thing we know, Natalie comes into the kitchen because she's just looking for Adrien. She's like, where is he? Like, she actually is genuinely concerned for him, and she sees that he's in the kitchen, and she sees that he's in there with Gabriel, and she starts to get a bit tense. But because you know how they don't want to fight in front of Adrien, next thing we know, they're just like, oh, we're good, yada yada yada, and then they just sit there and, like, you know, like when people be trying to look like a happy married couple, they did that. And then Adrien left the room, which is the kitchen, and guess what? Natalie smacked his ass down on the table. Like, she topped him, okay? She smacked his ass on the table. She was like, what the fuck are you doing? He was just like, I'm just trying to be here for my son, yada yada. She was like, she went full on mommy mode. Okay, she went full on mommy mode because that is not her kid, but she knows how Gabriel is to his own son, and she's like, oh no, I'm not about to sit here and let you continue to treat your son like shit, and now you want to switch up and everything like that. In that moment, like I said, Adrien's not her kid, so she does have to watch her boundaries with what she does with him, but she was like, oh no, you are literally a nuisance and a threat to your own kid, especially with the way how you've been acting now. No, you're not gonna do that. So she had him pinned down on the table, like she topped him down there. I was just like, yes girl, give it. So basically they have this entire argument where she's just yelling at him, and she's like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you doing this? Yada yada yada. And he was just like, I just want to be here for my son. And she was like, no bitch, fuck you, because you did all of this for your family in the first place, and now it's no longer about that. Like I said, he should have quit it earlier, because now he has this very big addiction to fighting the miraculous and Noru and just everything in general, and it just keeps getting worse and worse. And Natalie was like, hey, I was your bodyguard. I'm like, bodyguard? I'm telling y'all, I was like, how the fuck did she learn how to fight like that? I learned how to fight like that because I did cheerleading for so long, and the people I had to deal with were fucking crazy. But like, how did she learn how to fight like that? But she was like, I have been here for you through everything, and you're gonna sit here and treat me like ass? Like, I'm glad that she finally started going off on him like she should have done a while ago. But you know, it took the strength for her. She had to find the strength in order for her to do that. And when she saw that this shit was getting beyond her, she was like, yeah, no. She was like, you told me that you was only doing this shit because you want to get Emily back, and now it's no longer about that, so I don't want to fucking help you. And everybody, that's the thing where people will get on me talking about, oh, Natalie just as bad at him, this and the third. No, like, y'all, I was fighting for my life defending Natalie, okay? Because I was like, no, she's helping him because she wants him to be okay again, because the main reason he was doing this for Emily. But as soon as Natalie found out that, oh, it was no longer about Emily, it was about, you know, fighting the fucking miraculouses, she was like, yeah, I'm about to dip. But the main reason she didn't dip, because a whole bunch of people were like, if she really was the, she would have left. No, the main reason Natalie is still there, like while she still is in love with Gabriel, love can only do so much. She's there because she knows that if she leaves, his son is not going to be okay. But basically, Gabriel shows her that burnt ass mark on his arm that Cat Noir Adrien basically catechized him with, and she's just like, bitch, what the fuck? I'm too stressed out. Like, she was just like, I'm not having it. Like, you know, in Stormy Weather 2, literally like one of the worst episodes of the show, she was like, this, I can't handle this job, it's too much sometimes. I like, no, I just can't. I can't fucking even. I can't even. But here we fast forward and we go to the scene where Natalie is alone, and she starts to go back and reminisce on the times where Emily was alive. And we do see that she was friends with Emily. She did know them for quite a while before Adrien was born. So I was like, okay, we're finally giving some backstory, but why the fuck did y'all wait 100 episodes in? And then also them in this episode, I'm telling you, this show get on my fucking nerves. In this episode, they're trying to make it look like Emily is like so sweet and this and that and the third. I'm like, baby, y'all had so many speculations within the series that she was very much sus. So no, don't do that. You can't fucking do that. If you try to go in and fix something in your college paper and your teacher notices, you get an F automatically. You can't do that shit. But anyway, she goes back and she's just reminiscing on the time she spent with Emily, talking about, oh, Gabriel's very stubborn, but I need you to help me because, you know, I'm sick, yada yada yada. Why did the show never want to tell us what people are actually fucking sick with? Because you know how Rose was sick in season 4, like it was revealed. They never told us what it was. They never told us what Emily developed. They're not even telling us what Natalie is developing. Like, we need answers. Like I said, even when the show is still at its best and it's at its prime, there's just still so many fucking problems with it. But like I said, that right there, moving on, she starts crying, and I was like, she is so mean because she feels as if she failed Emily. Like I said, Emily was her friend, but she's just like, yeah, I want you to, like, if I'm not there, I do trust you to take care of my son. And, you know, that's what Natalie's been doing since Emily has been, you know, on life support in the basement. Moving on from there, Natalie starts crying, and Adrien comes into her room. He, like, knocks on the door, and she, like, fixes herself up real quick. Mind you, I'm sorry, but, like, all she did was, like, wipe her eyes. No, this bitch was ugly crying. She had mascara and eyeshadow smeared all over the damn face. But all she did was this. No, that don't work like that. But anyway, she comes in, and then she's just, like, back together. She was like, hey, Adrien, what's going on? What's going on? And he was like, so it's this girl I like, and I want to talk to her about you because I don't know what to do. And she was like, okay, so what's going on? Like, she tells him to sit down and everything, and it's a really very wholesome, very sweet moment right there. So next thing you know, he, like, notices that, like, something about her isn't right. He notices, like, you know how Natalie is really good at, like, wearing a poker face, and she always just presents herself as everything is okay when things really aren't, and she's hurting inside. That she kind of broke a little bit because she was just crying and Adrien noticed it. So next thing you know, Adrien was like, hey, what's going on? Like, I want to know because, you know, Natalie's basically been there his entire life, so he does care for her. He does see her as a guardian. He does see her as family. So he was like, have you ever been in love before? And I was like, wait a damn minute. So during this entire time, you telling me nobody else out here wanted Natalie? Like, you telling me nobody out here wanted her? I'm not buying that shit because, like, when she starts talking about, oh, the person that she loved or she ever been in love before, she started talking about Gabriel, and we saw this shit in the flashback scene. And speaking of this scene, there was a really big animation era when it was like a picture that we saw in the past of a young Emily, Natalie, and Gabriel, and then she opens it and then closes it, and then Emily and Natalie are switched on the other side, and I was just like, this is a really bad animation era. But okay, go off, poo. But I'm like, you mean to tell me that there's nobody else out here that wanted her? Like, no, like, she is bad as hell. Like, niggas now here would love her. Like, come to America, come to Atlanta, Natalie. Dudes out here will love you. But during this time, he was like, is there there's ever been anyone you ever loved? So she starts talking about Gabriel, but she doesn't let him know that she's talking about Gabriel. Y'all, this shit is just so fucked up because she's always had, like, feelings for this man. It turns out they used to be hunting the safari together with each other, and I was just like, I can't stand this show. This show do too fucking much sometimes. But yeah, anyway, they used to be going hunting together. First of all, what the fuck are y'all out there hunting? Are y'all colonizing? Anyway, but they're hunting, and basically it reveals, she was like, oh yeah, I've always loved this one person, but it just didn't work out. And basically when it cut to how it didn't work out, it's because she saw that he was, you know, being all loving towards Emily. So either both Natalie and Emily loved him if he picked Emily, or it's just Gabriel, you know, boys are stupid. Gabriel was just so oblivious to the fact that Natalie had feelings for him, and he always just had his eyes on Emily for the most part. But now, you know how it's like the roles are, like, starting to reverse. We see that, oh, Gabriel, he is in love with Natalie too. It's a very fucked up situation. But in this situation right here, because that's part of the reason why this episode is going to be so long, that's why I included timestamps for it. Remember that video I made a while back where I was just talking about how female character designs have better character designs than male, like, cartoon characters? This episode was a prime example of that, and it also was a bit of ageism, because there's a reason why. So like when you see in Hollywood, you'll see so many like men looking so much older than the women that are in the series and whatnot. And it happens a lot of time with a lot of these teen shows and whatever the fuck, where you'll see that the male actors would look significantly older than their female counterparts. It's just ageism for the most part. And you always know rates for women getting plastic surgery is much higher than men getting plastic surgery too. So, and you know how when it comes to being a woman, we're always, you know, taught to, you know, always make sure you're shaved, always make sure your hair looks nice, use anti-wrinkle cream, use this anti-aging cream, this and that and the third. Like, we're always fed this stuff in our face. Drink this tea so your stomach will stay flat. Make sure you go running for a jog so you don't gain weight and things like that. So much of like our society beauty standards, it really does reflect when we're watching animation, because you'll see how the women always have to present themselves as, you know, beautiful and pretty. And even when like I said, Natalie was ugly crying, she wasn't even like ugly crying. She still looked really cute when she was crying just as well. It just feels like women are not allowed to age. Women are not allowed to have bad moments and whatnot. And like I said, when you look at animation, the female character designs just look significantly better than the male ones. But also you'll notice that the female character designs, they look years and years younger than the male designs, because we saw that old picture of Natalie and Emily and they look the same. They look about the same age. That's why I was just so confused on how old Natalie is, because I was like, she looks like she's in her late 20s, like 31 at oldest in my opinion. And so does Emily just as well. And then we see that old picture of Gabriel where he did look younger, but that nigga look old as hell now. Like, Gabriel does not look the same. And it just goes to show you, it's like Gabriel was allowed to grow old in age, but the women in the series were not. And this show has a big issue with that, with like the women looking significantly younger than a whole bunch of the men within the series, like with Penny Rowland and Jagged Stone. Because a lot of the time, a lot of us just assumed that Penny and Jagged were like both in their 20s, but now that we know that nigga got kids, we're just like, okay, how old is Penny? But it turns out Penny most likely is the exact same age as him. It's just the, you know, society beauty standards not allowing women to, you know, age and whatever the fuck. Like, I kid you not, like, a lot of these people, like a lot of women out here, and also Gabriel could just probably be aging badly because he's a horrible fucking person. Yes, that shit does that to you, but it's just very like jarring to see, because there's just so much of what I watch where it's just like the male designs can be butt fucking ugly, but like the women have to look a certain beauty standard. They have to be, you know, slim thick, because somebody had even said something about how Dexter's Laboratory is like a prime example of this, where the mama is bad as fuck but the daddy is just plain. Like, even you can see this shit with Kim Possible, where Kim's mom is like a full-on MILF and the dad is not a DILF. All right, he's fucking not. But that right there, it just kind of ticked me off, mainly because it just made me think of, yeah, we have to feel like we have to look 20 something for a long time in order to still be desirable and still be beautiful and whatnot. It's frustrating. It's very much frustrating. And I understand that there are a lot of women out here that are in their 30s and their 40s and they can still pass for being in their late 20s, but that's not the case for everyone, okay? So moving on from that right there, Natalie basically comes to Gabriel and she's just like, akumatized me because I want this to be over. I'm tired of you and your shit. Because like I said, this was all for Emily that he told her, but now it's beyond that. Basically, when he basically turned on her when he had the chance to save her, she's just like, no, I'm gonna do it. Put this in my control. I'm gonna take control of it. I'm gonna go and get Ladybug and Cat and Mars Miraculouses and we can get this shit done. So basically she turns into Safari. Bad bitch. Y'all gonna I'm gonna make some edits of that. I'm gonna make some icons, but she looked cute as hell. She was giving Bayonetta. Like, Natalie already looks like Bayonetta to me in my opinion, but she was very much giving Bayonetta in this. I think I'm gonna go ahead and take the Natalie cosplay glasses off. But basically she's just going around. She brings time breaker, is it time tagger, I don't know, Chris basically. Mind you, people think that Chris got akumatized again. Why do we see no kind of reaction from Nino? Because that's literally his fucking brother. But anyway, basically there is an akuma attack going on. Everybody gets an alert on them rings, them weird ass rings that I really think all of them should turn off. I'm telling y'all, if I was in this world, I would literally go on Dumois and tell everybody, I know I probably pronounced Dumois, that Gabriel Grace got trackers in his clothes. He gonna come get me. I'm telling y'all, if I was in this universe, Gabriel would have a hit on my ass. But basically, it is revealed that there is a Akuma attack going on in the city, and that everyone needs to, you know, evacuate, be safe, and whatever the fuck. Mind you, everybody is scared right now about this Akuma attack going on, because at this point, I'm just like, are y'all still scared of this? Because this is like an everyday thing at this point. But no, Marinette, I'm telling y'all, Marinette killed me. Like, her and Adrien are both like really, really down bad for each other. Like, oh my god, I want to see him. I love her. I want to see her. That's how both of them are. But like, you know, for their other... it's irritating. But she's just like, oh, I get to go see Cat Noir. I'm like, Mary, baby, people are dying and you just want to go see your boo? You just want to go see your boo? I understand that shit, because I remember it was like COVID had got really bad at one point, and I was like, I still want to go see my best friend though, and I did. I was safe though. But here we go. Moving on from there, you know, they start to fight Nathalie and this and that and the third. Mind you that Adrien doesn't really know who it is at first. Adrien Cat Noir basically, but Ladybug has no problem fighting her. But when Adrien realizes that Safari is Nathalie, he starts to hold back a bit and he doesn't want to fight her. So next thing you know, Nathalie ends up zapping, like she shot Ladybug, and basically he's just running all over the town trying to get her away from him. The next thing we know, his ring, you know how the miraculous have to be charged and all of that shit, it starts to run out of juice and he transforms back. But Ladybug does not see, like Marinette Ladybug doesn't see that that's actually Adrien, because she is frozen, because Nathalie froze her. Next thing you know, Plague is like, you know what, the only way we're gonna be able to fix it is if I get her miraculous off of her. And Adrien's like, okay. So they go around the corner. Plague has Ladybug Marinette, and he just grabs the earring off of her, and he's just like, she's just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, she's just so confused. Adrien is on the other side, and he's just like, hey, you got blasted, but it's okay. I still didn't see your secret identity. Plague took care of it. He's not going to tell me. So then they talk about it, and they realize that the reason why Nathalie Safari was able to track them down is because she specifically was looking for two targets, that being Ladybug and Cat Noir. So if they even tried to get back into being Ladybug and Cat Noir, she was going to hunt them down and come get that ass. So they were like, why don't we switch? They did a Kwame swap. Y'all know your little Kwame swap AUs that all of y'all like so much. They did a Kwame swap, so we get Mr. Bug and Lady Noir again. It's like Reflect all over again, because when Nathalie, you know, was fucking up the shit, that is when we saw the Kwame swap for the first time. So they swap Kwames. Long story short, they defeat Nathalie. But it's so funny how, because Adrien knew it was her, but he couldn't exactly give it away, because he knew where he had to go in order to get, you know, the butterfly and break that shit. So he did the little lucky charm, and then next thing we know, it's a perfume bottle, and it's like, oh, perfume, Adrien, I'm pretty sure that it's at the Aggress mansion. The funny thing about this shit is, like, I know that they have been to that house numerous times in the past, but I'm just like, why does too many people know where Gabriel live? Y'all are too fucking rich to have this many people know where you guys live. Like, so that's just probably why Marinette didn't even question that shit, because so many people know where his damn house is. So next thing you know, they end up going to Gabriel's house. They break the thing and everything's back to normal, and Nathalie is just not happy, because she's just like, why? She's like, Nathalie is smart, but like, shut up. Nathalie is smart, but basically they outsmarted her, and she was just like, well, shit. Like, when she went back and she was just trying to act like everything was like, oh, whatever, but she wasn't distressed, because that was just a very stressful situation. Marinette and Adrien as Lady Noir and Mr. Bug, they come and comfort her. Mind you, I like this Mr. Bug better than the first time Adrien was Mr. Bug. I thought he did a lot better here, but mainly because he actually listened. But Gabriel is fake. Gabriel is a fake ass bitch ass nigga. Alright? He literally tries to act like he didn't know nothing was going on. He rushes up in there. He's just like, oh my gosh, Natalie, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm just like, bitch, shut up. It's your fault why this happened in the first place, but it's also her fault too why it happened in the first place, because she gave you the consent to akumatize her. But like, Gabriel's an actor, okay? Gabriel's an actor. Y'all be trying to talk about Emily was the actor of the family. No, it's Gabriel. Gabriel's the real actor of the family. But then also that just like makes me think Emily's probably acting in a lot of this shit. First of all, why are y'all using the miraculousness for bad? Because it's pretty what I have inferred. Natalie didn't really know why they were just getting this miraculous stuff. She was like, yeah, I'll help you, whatever. But what the fuck were you two doing with these things for them to malfunction like that? Because last time I checked, miraculouses don't fucking malfunction unless you're doing wrong. So what were you and your husband doing? Okay? Like I said, Emily's not off the hook for me. She's still on my bad side. But next thing we know, the episode ends right there. I really like how we did see in this episode, we did focus on Marinette, but we actually are getting fucking answers. Like, we're actually getting backstory. We actually got a fucking flashback. Like, you know how we finally started getting flashbacks with Master Fu and everything? We're finally getting answers. Not many answers, because a lot of it is still very open the air. But we're finally getting answers about so much of the bullshit that happens within this series, especially when it comes to that entire weird ass aggressed circle. I really would like to know more about this family, simply because it's my favorite part of the show. But I want to know, how did they get involved with Tomo and her family? How did they get involved with Audrey and the bourgeois? Like, I'm very much curious to know, and like all of them in on this evil ass shit. Natalie, what the fuck are you doing around these people in the first place? Like, I find this stuff, like I said, it's obvious that Natalie did not come from money like Emily did. She's not rich like Gabriel and Emily are, because we see that. She basically has always just kind of been like their little support system. So it's just like, okay, but that was very much sad to see that she was always in love with him. Damn, girl. No, we need to set Natalie up on a Tinder account. If you watch this far into the video, comment down below, we need to get Natalie a Tinder account. We do. Because I'm like, you mean to tell me that you're fine as nobody out here wants you? You literally look like Bayonetta. Like, there's somebody out here in Paris that wants you, baby. Like, come on. Like, no. But like I said, it's just very weird, because it's like we see that he finally is, you know, in love with Natalie, but we don't, like I said, either he's always been in love with both of them and he picked between the two, or he's always been Emily, but then he developed feelings for Natalie later on. So it is very interesting to see that if Emily does come back alive, how would all of this work out? Like, would Natalie just leave? I'm sorry, y'all, I can't live with the man that was the love of my life that has another woman and he don't care about me. I can't do that shit. I can't do it. I don't know. But yeah, this episode basically did reveal that, oh, she's always been down bad for him. I don't like Emily. I never liked her from the beginning. I don't like Gabriel as either, but like, I've actually seen the chemistry that he has with Natalie, so that's why I ship it so hard. But like I said, this one was long because I just had so much to say about it though. But the thing about ageism and, you know, being pretty and whatnot was something that really did fucking bother me, and I do want to go in a little bit more detail about it. Now, I do want to go into a little bit more detail about, you know, how women have to look a certain way while men can just be out here looking like whatever. And I'm not just talking about like basic things, but I notice it's just things in general. A lot of people do be getting jobs over people simply because they fit society's beauty standards, where they have the straight hair, the slim nose, the small or big, you know, doe eyes, like attractive, slim, skinny, all of that jazz. Like, sadly, that this is, you know, our culture that we live in. And then also, what you know, fat phobia is also rooted in racism just as well. It's very much concerning, because while it does have a factor when it comes to the modeling world, because in the modeling world, you know, you already have to be skinny, you already have to have super like fine features and everything like that. And like, a lot of models are people that look very much different than others, but I notice when it comes to black models, there's just so much double standards for what they have to present themselves as than white models. Because I remember somebody had said something along the lines of white models can be ugly, because, you know, modeling is not really, you know, for the most part it is about being pretty, but in given circumstances they often just want people that look different. But a lot of times that shit just be applying to white people. They were like, oh, so white models can be ugly, but y'all have to have, you know, black models be extremely super duper pretty. So yeah, it just goes to show you like a lot of double standards. But even when it comes to the thing about white models being ugly, they still have to look a certain way. Like, they still have to have a certain kind of hairstyle. They still have to be super duper thin. They still have to have that small nose. They still have to have those full lips. They can't have ears that are too big for them. Their eyes have to be arched a certain way. Like, y'all know that entire fox eye thing, lift surgery that people get? I'm pretty sure Bella Hadid has it. It's very much dehumanizing to be a model. That's why I'm just super picky when it comes to the jobs I search for and whatnot. But then also it plays a big factor into the acting world, because there have been times where somebody has gotten a job over me simply because the person in charge thought the person was prettier than me and thought they were a better pick. But then there have been other times where I have gotten a job over somebody else because they thought I was cuter than another person. It's actually very much fucked up. Okay, but when you go around and you look at the Hollywood film industry and everything like that, you see that like women have to have these big ass beauty standards. And I notice when I look at casting calls, it feels as if women are not allowed to age, because I know a lot of women lie about their age in order to get jobs. Because Alexa Demi, y'all know Maddie Perez from Euphoria, she lied about her age in order to be able to get, you know, job opportunities. And by the way, some of y'all gotta understand that, like, I love Alexa down, but like some of y'all gotta understand that like lying about your age, especially if you like were in a well-populated area, it is not that easy. Because I kid you not, I was at Anime Weekend Atlanta this weekend and I saw a few of my classmates there, and I went and spoke to them, and they were like, "Since when did you change your name?" See, I'm like, y'all, there are gonna be somebody out here that goes out here that tells people how old you actually are. So yeah, that was that right there. But the main reason, when you think about it, like, why did Alexa feel like she had to lie? And Hollywood, oftentimes when it comes to women, when you look at the ratio of how old their male counterparts are, they be wanting women to be no older than 30, or they don't want them to be pushing 30. Like 25 is like the perfect age if you want to get adult roles within these media. And that's why when you're watching these television shows, when you will look up on IMDb that when there's a family, you'll see that the mom of the family's actor is significantly younger than the dad of the family, and you're confused because you're just like, why does the mom look younger than the man playing the dad? And that's because the actor in real life actually is, because they allowed the men to grow old and look any kind of way. But it's like women, we always have to feel like we had to present ourselves as beautiful. And that's part of the reason why so many people be getting so pissed off with my channel, because people have told me that they thought it was disrespectful of the fact that I get on camera and look any kind of way. And I'm like, I don't need to please any of you. I have not put on this earth in order to please men and fit their needs and everything like that. I don't care. You're not my, like, you know, you don't tell me what to do. So moving on from there, moving back to with Alexa lying about her age and everything like that, oftentimes you get turned away if they actually reveal how old you are, because when you tell them how old you are, they be like, I'm sorry, but all I see is a 30-year-old and I don't think you're gonna be a good fit for this part. So oftentimes when I know my teachers, like my acting teachers and whatnot, they would straight up tell us, hey, if they're asking how old you are, just say 18 and up or 21 and up, because if they actually know how old you are, that will hinder you getting the job. Like, I'm 23 right now and I feel like I am in a pretty good place and I still do look fairly young. Like, I literally got mistaken for a kid this weekend. It was kind of funny. But I know that sooner or later, it's just like, while I may still look the same, I am gonna get older and whatnot, and people are gonna be like, oh, you're a little too old for this part right here, I don't think we're gonna give it to you. And the most jarring thing about it is that, like, when they tell you that you're too old for the part, so oftentimes it's just roles of playing women, or you're a love interest to a man. The man could be old as hell, but like, you have to be a certain age in order to be paired up with him. Like, does nobody find this extremely concerning? And you look at Hollywood and you wonder why so many old actors, like male actors, are still getting casted and whatnot, but so many old female actors, they're, you know, working behind the scenes more. They're not really in front of the camera anymore, simply because they age. And it's kind of scary to see, because there's a lot of actors from, you know, the entire Brat Pack, or even like the era that came after the Brat Pack, as we had Molly Ringwald. Like, Molly Ringwald was like, you know, teen idol, America's sweetheart, but then when she started to get older, we started to see less and less of her, either because she just wasn't feeling it, or because the roles just weren't coming in there because she aged and they weren't seeing her as their cute little teen Molly Ringwald anymore. And then moving on from her, I know Alicia Silverstone is also a big example of this just as well. Everybody knew her for playing the cute and quirky teen characters, but then when she started to age, she wasn't really in anything that was, like, you know, big and popping. Like, she was in Beauty Shop. Y'all know I'm a Beauty Shop stan to this day, but like, that was, like, you know, popular with like black cinema, and sadly most black cinema just doesn't leave the black community. I mean, they didn't really see her in anything much bigger than after that. And I even say Sarah Michelle Gellar is a good example of this too, because we saw her as Daphne Blake, where she was playing this really cute woman in her early 20s, didn't take shit from nobody, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you know, Cruel Intentions. I fucking love Cruel Intentions. She played all these iconic teen roles, but then when she started to get older, we started to see less and less of her. Mainly because it's just like, either she didn't want to play a teen no more, or it's just like they just stopped casting her because she was starting to age. And she was getting casted in things, but it was nothing that was really, you know, making noise and whatnot. So moving on from there, it was great to see her in Do Revenge, and she actually was playing an older woman character. She looks great to me. Mainly because I feel like more women are fighting to have a voice within Hollywood. And you know, like, in the past, if women spoke up, they were like blackballed. Because, you know, like, that's why so many of these actors that you saw in the 90s and early 2000s, why you don't see them anymore, is because they felt a little bit too outspoken, or Hollywood just doesn't want to cast them anymore because they started to age, meaning they started to look older. And that's why so many of these celebrities continue to get work done. Because y'all know I can't stand the fucking Kardashians, but I think they're a prime example of this. A lot of us were talking about how we thought they were in their 30s this entire time, but they're actually in their 40s. But you have a hard time kind of believing that because of all the work they have gotten done to their bodies. Like, even Paris Hilton, for the most part, we can tell that Paris Hilton is still trying to present herself like she is in her early 20s. And I'm like, Paris, that ship done been sailed. Okay, that ship has been sailed. And like I said, the world is, like I said, I am a woman, I'm a black woman specifically, and the world is very hard on us. And I'm not saying that white women don't have struggles just as well, but white women do have to do it a lot with simply just being a woman and having to deal with misogyny that comes from men all the time. And one of those factors is the fact that they feel like they have to look a certain age, because I notice a lot more white people have been getting plastic surgery done over the years because they still want to present themselves as if they're in their 20s. And I feel like we need to just kind of stop glamorizing their 20s, because everyone's just talking about you're the most desirable when you're in your 20s and this and that and the third. Like, even when people find out that like a lot of people still think I'm like 18 or something like that, and then when they found out I'm in my 20s and they're like, oh, you're like in your golden era. I'm like, baby, my 20s, I'm suffering right now. I'm stressed all the time. I literally run a business. I have this YouTube channel right here, and I'm also a fucking college student, and I have to deal with auditions and, you know, signing up for things or whatnot. Like, it's actually fucking hard. And then I remember somebody had said something like so ugly about, you know, voice actors and people that work behind the scenes or whatnot. And people were saying a lot of these people that work behind the scenes are actually very much unattractive. And I was just like, are they unattractive, or they just don't fit your type of beauty standard of what you think is pretty? And like I said, Hollywood plays a big factor into what we find pretty and what we find ugly, because it's just like, this is the stuff that we're presented to be beautiful. These are the kind of people that we're always seeing. So when we see something else, we feel a different kind of way, because a lot of writers, they don't look like the people that you see on television. A lot of voice actors don't look like the actors that we see in film or even on the stage in theater, because it's all behind the scenes. And so many of them tend to turn to jobs like that. It's because they feel like they're not pretty enough to be in front of people, or beautiful enough, or fit these beauty standards to where people will find them desirable. And desirability plays a big factor into working into the entertainment industry. I hate to say it, but I hope I don't sound ridiculous, but I am fully aware that a lot of y'all follow me because you think I'm pretty. Like, you think I'm cute. There's nothing wrong with that. I follow people because I simply think they're cute too, just as well. Like Mia, super duper pretty woman. Like Zarya from the new Pretty Little Liars, gorgeous girl, okay? But like I said, there's nothing wrong with admitting that. But then also, I follow so many different kinds of people. While Mia and Zarya are both beautiful women, they don't look the same. That doesn't mean Mia is ugly and Zarya is ugly. It's just two different things. And I feel like Hollywood just kind of doesn't want to, you know, step out of those boundaries and look different and this and that and the third. And this episode of Miraculous Ladybug, y'all be telling me I overanalyze shit or whatnot, but no. This episode truly did prove that men are able to have bad, like, you know, years and age and start to look different, but women always have to keep themselves looking done up in order to still be seen as desirable to the world. Because, like I said, why does Emily still look the same as she did after she had a whole child? Because I can see how Natalie still looks the same, because Natalie don't got no kids. We team fuck them kids over here, okay? Like, no, we don't have children, we're childless. But Emily, I'm just like, having a baby ages you. And I know like a lot of women don't look different after having kids, like Emily Ratajkowski, but we also have to remember the given circumstances of Emily Ratajkowski, because she is literally a top model. Her appearance literally is everything about her, and she had to make sure she bounced back fast and kept that up in order to make sure she was still getting roles. So like, was Emily getting work done after she had Adrien to make sure she was still looking young? Was she working out super duper hard and this and that and the third? It's just something to think about, because it's like, we always know Natalie is super fit and everything like that. That's just her. So I can give her a little grace and a little leeway like that. But that is why so many people get so uncomfortable when we're watching TV and the man looks significantly older than the woman. And oftentimes they're like, oh, they're the same age. I'm like, baby, no, they're not. They're not. Tell the truth. But I'm glad we got some confirmation that she's closer to his age than we think she was, okay? While she may still be younger than him, because there's nothing wrong with her being younger than him, I'm glad it's not significantly younger than him, but she looks younger than him. But that's pretty much all I had to say for this video. How long are we going? I did not think this shit was gonna run this long, but like I said, I had so much to say about that simply because of things that I just noticed. And you know, you guys come to my channel and you guys want to hear me talk about these issues and the sorts, and I just had so much to say about this one particular thing because it was a bit jarring, I'd say. But if you guys want to support me, my books on my website, harriyannahook.com, use code HUSBAR30 for 30% off your order. And then I also have a lot of other merch there just as well. harriyannahook.com. I have Patreon for donations. I also have Buy Me a Coffee for donations and Ko-fi for donations just as well. You guys want to know where you can support me for free? I have a web series called The Progenies. It's a Descendants fan series. The link to that will be down below. And last but not least, if you guys want to know another way you can support me for free, it's just to follow me on everything at Harriyanna, HARRIYANNA. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you came to my Miraculous panel this past weekend, thank you so much. You're so great. Love you guys. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a good night.
'Cause I work hard to get to this point in my life. I'm blowing up, so don't hate, just congratulate.
The Powerpuff Girls will just blow your mind. Buttercup like villains 3 at a time. Bubbles will smile while kicking your butt, and Blossom will lead them out of their ruts. Cherish and Powerpuff, 2 of a kind. Both wanna save the world before bedtime. From Townsville, Memphis, New York to LA, the Powerpuff Girls are just here to stay.